Isn't it funny how some things just aren't talked about? Especially as we get a little older, we chat about aches and pains, maybe what's on the telly, or the price of groceries. But there are some topics that feel like they're behind a locked door. And sometimes, avoiding these conversations means we miss out on understanding things that could actually make a real difference in how we feel, both in our bodies and our minds. It's like there's a quiet, perhaps even painful reality that certain aspects of our well-being just aren't considered important anymore. Or worse, they're seen as something from the past. But what if there's a simple, natural act that many people quietly engage in, or perhaps stop engaging in, that has significant, surprising effects on how we age? What if neglecting this one private aspect of life could lead to noticeable changes in how we feel day to day? In this video, we're going to gently open that door and look at 6 specific things that can happen to your body and mind if you don't include self-pleasure, or masturbation, as part of your life in your later years. It might sound a bit unconventional, but the truth is, our bodies and minds continue to have needs and experience benefits from activities like this. Regardless of age, we'll explore how this often unspoken practice is linked to everything from managing stress and improving sleep, to boosting mood, and even potentially helping with certain physical comforts. It's about understanding your own body and mind, and giving yourself permission to explore what feels right and healthy for you. So, stay with me, because you might be surprised by what we uncover. Watch to the end for something that will truly give you a new perspective on aging well. Let's start by thinking about how stress creeps up on us. No matter how old we are, life still throws curveballs, doesn't it? Maybe it's worrying about family, dealing with health appointments, or just the general anxieties that seem to multiply as the years go by. We often hear about managing stress through exercise, meditation, or hobbies. And those are all wonderful things. But there's a powerful, built-in mechanism in our bodies that's designed to release tension and promote relaxation. And that's the physiological response triggered by sexual activity, including masturbation. When we engage in this kind of self-pleasure, our bodies release a cocktail of feel-good chemicals, like endorphins, which are natural mood boosters and pain relievers, and oxytocin, sometimes called the cuddle hormone, which promotes feelings of calmness and connection, even if that connection is just with ourselves. These hormones work together to counteract the stress hormones like cortisol that can wreak havoc on our systems over time. Think about a time you felt really stressed, your shoulders tense, your jaw tight, maybe a knot in your stomach. For many people, the physical release experience during orgasm is like a wave washing over that tension, allowing muscles to relax and the nervous system to calm down. If this release isn't happening, that built-up tension and the elevated stress hormones can linger. Chronic stress isn't just an unpleasant feeling. It has real physical consequences. It can contribute to high blood pressure, suppress the immune system, and even affect our digestive health. For people who aren't getting this natural stress relief, either through partnered sex or self-pleasure, the body might remain in a more constant state of low-grade alert, which can be exhausting over time. It's like a car engine that's always idling high. It wears down faster. So, one of the significant things that can happen if you don't masturbate in old age is that you might find it harder to manage stress effectively. That underlying tension might become your new normal, manifesting as irritability, anxiety, or even physical symptoms like headaches or muscle pain. It's not a magic bullet, of course, but it's a tool in the self-care toolbox that shouldn't be overlooked. It's a personal, private way to allow your body to move through a natural cycle of tension and release, which is incredibly beneficial for the nervous system. Beyond just the immediate stress relief, consider the mental clutter that stress creates. It's harder to think clearly, to focus, to feel present when your mind is racing with worries. The act of engaging in self-pleasure requires a certain degree of focus and being in the moment with your body. It can be a mindful practice, a way to disconnect from external stressors and reconnect with your physical self. This mental break is just as important as the physical release. Without it, the mental hamster wheel might just keep spinning, making it harder to find peace and quiet in your own head. It's a simple, accessible way to hit the reset button on your stress levels. And this brings us smoothly to another area deeply affected by stress and the hormones we just discussed, sleep. Oh, sleep. Isn't it something many of us grapple with as we get older? Falling asleep, staying asleep, waking up feeling refreshed. It can feel like a luxury sometimes. And while there are many factors that contribute to sleep difficulties in older age, chronic stress and hormonal imbalances play a huge role. Remember those feel-good chemicals. Endorphins and oxytocin. They don't just relieve stress, they also promote relaxation and can induce feelings of sleepiness. Think about how you feel after a deeply relaxing experience. Often, you feel ready for a nap or a good night's sleep. The post-orgasm state is, for many people, a state of profound relaxation. Muscles are relaxed, the mind is quieter, and the body feels calm. This physiological shift makes it much easier to drift off to sleep. If this natural pathway to relaxation and sleepiness isn't being utilized, either through partnered intimacy or self-pleasure, the body might miss out on a valuable aid for sleep. Someone who isn't experiencing this release might lie awake longer. Their mind still active. Their body, perhaps, still holding tension. It's not just about feeling tired. It's about the quality of sleep. The deep, restorative sleep stages are crucial for physical and mental repair, for consolidating memories, and for overall health. Stress and interrupted sleep disrupt these vital processes. So, a second thing that can happen if you don't masturbate is that you might find your sleep quality suffers. You might take longer to fall asleep, wake up more frequently, or just not feel as rested even after spending hours in bed. It's a cycle. Stress makes sleep worse, and poor sleep makes you more susceptible to stress. Using self-pleasure as a tool for relaxation before bed can be a surprisingly effective way to break that cycle for many people. It's a natural sedative, if you will, without the side effects of pills. It's worth noting that sleep patterns change with age anyway, but we want to give ourselves the best possible chance to get the restorative sleep we need. And sometimes, that means exploring all the natural tools available to us. This simple act of self-care, done in the privacy of your own space, could be the missing piece in your quest for better sleep. It's about listening to your body and understanding its natural rhythms and responses. Letting go of tension and allowing the body to relax deeply is fundamental to good sleep hygiene. And for many, this particular activity is one of the most effective ways to achieve that state. Continuing on the theme of how this affects our inner world, let's talk about mood. Aging can come with its own set of emotional challenges. Sometimes there's loneliness, perhaps grief over losing loved ones, or simply the feeling of invisibility that can sometimes accompany getting older in a society that often overvalues youth. Maintaining a positive outlook and a sense of emotional well-being is crucial for enjoying life at any age. And here again, the chemicals released during masturbation play a significant role. We've already mentioned endorphins and oxytocin, the natural mood boosters and calming agents. But there's also dopamine, which is linked to pleasure and reward, and serotonin, which contributes to feelings of happiness and well-being. An increase in these neurotransmitters can lift your spirits, reduce feelings of sadness, and create a greater sense of contentment. Think about it when you feel good physically. It's much easier to feel good mentally and emotionally. The act of self-pleasure isn't just a physical release. It can be a deeply personal and emotional experience. It's a way of connecting with yourself, of acknowledging your own body and its capacity for pleasure. Regardless of whether you have a partner or not, it's an act of self-love and self-acceptance in older age, when opportunities for physical intimacy might decrease for various reasons. Having a way to access these positive emotional states independently becomes even more valuable. It helps maintain a connection to a fundamental human experience, the experience of pleasure and physical sensation. If this outlet for emotional and chemical release is absent, you might find your mood is more prone to dipping. Feelings of melancholy, irritability, or even mild depression could be more persistent. It's like your body and mind are missing out on a regular dose of their own natural antidepressant and mood stabilizer. You might not feel clinically depressed, but the general enjoyment of life, that spark, might feel diminished. It's about maintaining a baseline level of emotional resilience. Having a readily available way to boost those feel-good hormones provides a buffer against the emotional challenges of aging. So, a third thing that can happen if you don't masturbate is that you might find maintaining a consistently positive mood more challenging. It's not a cure for clinical depression, which requires professional help, but it's a tool for everyday emotional regulation and for fostering a sense of well-being and self-worth. It reminds you that your body is still capable of experiencing pleasure and that you are deserving of that pleasure, which is a powerful message, especially in later life. It contributes to feeling alive and connected to yourself. Moving from the emotional back to the physical, let's consider physical comfort and tension. As we age, it's common to experience more aches and stiffness. Muscles can feel tight, joints might complain, and general physical discomfort can become a daily reality for some. While exercise and stretching are essential for flexibility and mobility, the release of tension that occurs during orgasm can also play a role in overall physical comfort. During sexual arousal and leading up to orgasm, there's often an increase in muscle tension throughout the body. The climax provides a rapid and significant release of this accumulated tension. This is one of the reasons why people often feel so relaxed afterwards. This process of tension and release isn't just happening in the obvious places. It's a full-body phenomenon for someone who isn't experiencing this release, either through partnered sex or self-pleasure. That physical tension, perhaps subtle, might not get a regular opportunity to fully dissipate. It's like winding a spring, but never letting it unwind completely. Over time, this could contribute to feelings of stiffness, discomfort, or even exacerbate existing aches and pains by keeping the body in a state of low-level muscular engagement. Furthermore, the endorphins released during orgasm have analgesic properties. They can actually help reduce the perception of pain. This is the body's natural pain relief system at work. For someone dealing with chronic aches or discomfort, having a natural, accessible way to potentially alleviate some of that pain, even temporarily, is incredibly valuable. So, a fourth thing that might happen if you don't masturbate in old age is that you could experience increased or more persistent physical discomfort and tension. You might feel stiffer, notice more general aches, or find it harder for your muscles to fully relax. It's not going to cure arthritis, but it could be one piece of the puzzle in managing the physical realities of aging. It's about giving your body every opportunity to relax and release built-up tension, using its own natural mechanisms. It's a form of physical self-care, allowing your body to complete a natural cycle that promotes relaxation and potentially reduces discomfort. It's a way to honor the physical sensations your body is capable of experiencing, which can be empowering as your body changes with age. It helps maintain a connection to your physical self and its capacity for pleasure and comfort. Now, let's touch on an area that's often linked to sexual health, particularly for men, but has broader implications for pelvic health in everyone: the pelvic floor muscles. These muscles form a sling that supports the bladder, bowel, and for women, the uterus. Maintaining their strength and function is crucial for preventing issues like incontinence. For men, regular ejaculation is sometimes discussed in relation to prostate health, though the research is complex and ongoing. However, the physical contractions that occur in the pelvic floor muscles during orgasm, for both men and women, are a form of exercise for these muscles. Think of it like doing mini Kegel exercises without even trying. These involuntary contractions can help maintain the tone and strength of the pelvic floor. For women, this can contribute to maintaining bladder control and potentially overall pelvic support. For men, these contractions are part of the ejaculatory process and involve the pelvic floor muscles. While not a guaranteed preventative measure for prostate issues, some studies suggest a correlation between frequent ejaculation and a reduced risk of certain prostate problems. The exact mechanisms are still being studied, but it's thought that regular flushing of the prostate ducts might play a role. If this regular exercise and potential flushing mechanism through orgasm is absent, the pelvic floor muscles might not get this particular form of conditioning. This could potentially contribute to weakening over time, which in turn could increase the risk or severity of issues like stress, incontinence, leaking urine when you cough, sneeze, or laugh. While targeted pelvic floor exercises, Kegels are the primary way to strengthen these muscles intentionally. The natural contractions during orgasm can complement these efforts or provide some benefit if intentional exercises aren't being done. So, a fifth thing that could happen if you don't engage in masturbation or partnered sex is that you might miss out on some potential benefits for pelvic floor health and, for men, possibly prostate health. It's about maintaining the function of these important muscles and organs. It's not a substitute for medical advice or treatment if you have specific health concerns, but it is about recognizing that the body's natural processes, including sexual function, can contribute to overall physical well-being in subtle but important ways. It's about keeping the system working, in a sense, just like using your muscles helps keep them strong. Using these particular muscles through their natural function can contribute to their health. It's a private health practice that costs nothing and can be done on your own terms. It's empowering to know that you have this capacity within you to support your own physical health in this way. It's a reminder that sexual health is a part of overall health, not separate from it, even as we get older. Finally, let's talk about something that's less tangible, but just as important is sense of self-connection and the experience of pleasure for pleasure's sake. As we age, it's easy to focus on the practicalities of life, appointments, chores, managing health. We might lose touch with the parts of ourselves that simply enjoy physical sensations and pleasure, without necessarily linking it to reproduction, or even a partner. Masturbation is a powerful way to stay connected to your own body, to understand what feels good, and to give yourself permission to experience pleasure purely for the sake of enjoyment. It's an affirmation that your body is still capable of feeling, and that you are worthy of feeling good. For many older adults, opportunities for partnered physical intimacy may decrease due to widowhood, separation, health issues, or simply lack of a partner. If self-pleasure is also absent from their lives, they might miss out entirely on experiencing physical intimacy and the unique blend of physical and emotional connection it provides. This isn't just about sex. It's about touch, about warmth, about feeling alive in your own skin. It's about a form of self-validation and maintaining a healthy relationship with your body, even as it changes. It's a way to counter any feelings of becoming desexualized or invisible that society might impose as people age. It's a private rebellion against the idea that pleasure is only for the young. Reason, enosador despair, chandor don't. If this connection to self-pleasure is lost, one of the significant things that happens is you might lose a vital source of personal enjoyment, comfort, and self-affirmation. You might feel less connected to your physical self, less vibrant, or simply miss out on a readily available way to bring a moment of intense pleasure and relaxation into your life. It's about honoring your ongoing capacity for sensuality and pleasure. It contributes to a feeling of vitality and self-worth. It's a private act of self-care that nourishes both the body and the soul. It's about reminding yourself that pleasure is a lifelong experience, not something with an expiry date. It's a powerful statement that you are still a sensual being, worthy of experiencing physical joy and comfort on your own terms, whenever you choose. Losing this connection can subtly diminish one's overall sense of aliveness and personal well-being. So, as we've explored, there are indeed several things that can happen if self-pleasure isn't a part of your life as you get older. We've talked about the potential for stress and anxiety to become harder to manage, because you're missing out on a powerful natural release of tension and stress. Reducing hormones. We discussed how sleep quality might suffer, as the relaxation induced by orgasm can be a significant aid in falling asleep and getting more restorative rest. We looked at how mood can be positively impacted by the release of feel-good chemicals like endorphins and dopamine, and how you might miss out on these natural mood boosters if this activity is absent, making it potentially harder to maintain a consistently positive outlook. We also touched upon how persistent physical discomfort and tension might be more noticeable without the regular physical release that occurs during orgasm. And we briefly mentioned the potential benefits for pelvic floor health and prostate health, highlighting the role of natural contractions in these areas. Finally, and perhaps most importantly, we explored the loss of a deep sense of self-connection, personal pleasure, and self-affirmation that masturbation can provide, especially in later life when other forms of intimacy might be less available. Remember, this isn't about prescribing anything or telling anyone what they should do. It's about opening up a conversation about a natural human behavior and its potential impacts on well-being at every stage of life. It's about recognizing that physical and emotional needs don't simply disappear because you've reached a certain age. Small changes and conscious choices about how you care for yourself can make a profound difference in your health and happiness. Exploring your own body and its capacity for pleasure is a form of self-care, a way to reduce stress, improve sleep, boost mood, and simply feel good. It's a private, personal act that is entirely within your control. It's about giving yourself permission to prioritize your own physical and emotional comfort and well-being. It's about acknowledging that pleasure is a fundamental part of being human. At all ages, what are your thoughts on this topic? Is this something you've considered? Or is it entirely new to you? Perhaps you have experienced some of these effects yourself. Or maybe you already incorporate self-pleasure into your life and can speak to its benefits. I would genuinely love to hear from you and learn from your experiences. Please feel free to share your thoughts and perspectives in the comments below. Your comments help build a community where we can discuss important topics openly and without judgment. If you found this video helpful or thought-provoking, please give it a like. It helps us know we're creating content that resonates with you. And if you're interested in more discussions about health, well-being, and navigating life's journey with wisdom and grace, consider subscribing to the channel. We cover a range of topics aimed at helping you live your fullest, happiest life. Don't shy away from exploring what makes you feel good and brings you peace and comfort. Live your best life at every age.